All right, so today we're diving into some pretty hardcore life advice.
Hardcore is one way to put it.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who uses ultra marathons and crazy canoe races to illustrate life lessons.
Right. Someone who's clearly not afraid of pushing limits, whether it's physical or mental.
Exactly. And that's exactly the kind of perspective we're going to tap into today.
We are. We're going to be breaking down some incredible insights from Trevor Nell.
A South African entrepreneur and athlete who really walks the walk.
He does. And he writes about it, too. We've got 3 amazing articles of his from LinkedIn we're going to be diving into.
3 very different events, actually. Each one more intense than the last.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like when you say Comrades Marathon, most people think, oh, that's a long race.
It's more than just long. It's 90 kilometers, over 55 miles.
And it's not just flat either. They call part of it the Valley of 1,000 Hills for a reason.
Yeah, so imagine tackling that kind of challenge and then using it as a metaphor for pursuing your dreams.
Which is exactly what Trevor does. He talks about how the preparation, the discipline, the mental fortitude, it all translates directly to achieving any goal.
And the best part, he breaks it down with these really compelling anecdotes.
He does, like the story of Nick Bester, a previous Comrades winner who faced some serious setbacks during the 1998 race.
Oh yeah, this one stuck with me too. Here's a guy who could easily thrown in the towel.
I mean, injuries happen, right? But as Trevor writes, it is not always possible to determine what will happen to us, but we can control how we respond.
And Bester embodies that completely. He couldn't control the fact that he got injured.
But he could control how he reacted to it, how he kept going. That's such a powerful message.
Isn't it? It reminds me of that quote, "The obstacle is the way."
Exactly. And then on the flip side, we've got Rhee Bischoff, who won the women's race that same year.
Oh, wow. Same year as Nick Bester.
Yep. And she had this totally different approach, like laser-focused tunnel vision, to the point where she didn't even turn around when her competitor was gaining on her.
Wow. Talk about being in the zone. That's wild. I wonder if she regrets that or if that was part of her strategy.
Right. Was it helpful or hurtful? It makes you think about where to focus your energy. Trevor uses her story to highlight the importance of staying true to your own pace, your own journey.
It's like that classic dilemma. Comparison is the thief of joy, but also keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Right. Knowing when to push, when to pace yourself, when to block out the noise, and when to be aware of your surroundings.
And how do we apply that to our own lives? That's the million-dollar question. Luckily, Trevor gives us more than just marathons to think about. Okay, so from the open road to whitewater rapids.
Yeah, Trevor doesn't exactly shy away from a challenge, does he?
Not at all.
Yeah.
This time, he's taking us on the Ducey Canoe Marathon.
Which, as anyone who knows it will tell you, is a whole different beast.
Right. 120 kilometers of paddling A&D running through some pretty intense terrain.
Oh, yeah. Rapids portages.
Yeah.
You're battling the elements, your own body, and you need a partner to do it.
And that partnership, that teamwork, that's a huge part of what Trevor digs into here.
It is. He talks about how the Ducey demands a certain kind of mentality. He calls it the Ducey rat approach.
Ducey rat. I love that.
Oh.
So what makes a Ducey rat? What's her secret sauce?
Well, it's that blend of resourcefulness, adaptability, and a good dose of humor. Because when things go sideways, and they inevitably do.
Oh, they do. He tells this hilarious story about their canoe basically escaping onto a highway, ending up in the newspaper.
No way. What happened?
I know, right? You got to read the article for the full scoop, but let's just say it involves some quick thinking and a whole lot of luck.
Sounds about right. That ability to adapt on the fly is pure Ducey rat.
It totally is. And he even sums it up perfectly with this quote. It was a case of adjust your mindset, adapt to the situation, and add water.
Classic. I love that. Because isn't that true of life in general? Sometimes you just got to roll the punches and find a way to stay afloat.
Exactly. But it's not just about individual resilience. Right? Trevor emphasizes how crucial clear roles are within a team.
Oh, absolutely. He compares it to the front man and back man in the canoe.
Which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You need someone navigating the rapids, setting the course.
And you need someone providing the power, the stability, that trust that they're in sync.
It's giving me flashbacks to every group project I've ever been a part of.
Right. Makes you realize how important it is to know your strengths and to recognize how they fit within a team dynamic.
Absolutely. Whether you're paddling down a river or tackling a project at work, those same principles apply.
They really do. And this brings us to Trevor's final adventure, the Midmar Mile.
Okay, now I know what you're thinking. A mile swim. After all that.
Sounds almost relaxing in comparison, right? But the Midmar Mile holds a different kind of significance for Trevor.
It does. It's less about pushing physical limits and more about reflecting on the journey on how our perspectives change over time.
Exactly. He was nearing 70 when he decided to go back and do the Midmar Mile for its 50th anniversary.
And he didn't just go back alone. He brought some old teammates along for the ride. Talk about a reunion. I bet that was a whole other challenge in itself.
Organizing a reunion. Oh, yeah.
Right. Like herding cats, I imagine.
Especially cats who used to be competitive athletes.
Ah, that's a good point. So how'd it go? Did they all survive?
They did. And Trevor's honest about the whole thing. He doesn't sugarcoat the effort it took to pull it off,
Yeah.
the logistics, the
It's
personality.
always the personality, isn't it?
Always. But that's part of what makes it so interesting. He's highlighting these life lessons that go beyond just the physical challenge.
Right, like managing expectations, understanding different perspectives, the power of camaraderie.
Exactly. And then there's the swim itself, 50 years after his last Midmar Mile. He talks about how different it felt.
Oh, I bet. You're not exactly the same person at 70 that you were at 20.
Right. And he owns that. He writes, "My objective was to finish the race with my buddies and celebrate the occasion. It was not about speed or time."
Wow. That's actually really profound when you think about it. How our priorities shift as we get older.
It is. It's that humbling realization that sometimes the real victory is just showing up, being present, sharing the experience with people you care about.
Absolutely. And I love that he doesn't try to overcomplicate things. He sums up this whole experience with a simple but powerful message. Just keep swimming.
No matter what life throws at you, no matter how tough things get, just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward.
It's such a powerful metaphor. And it applies to so much more than just swimming. It's about that unwavering spirit, that commitment to keep going, even when it's hard.
Exactly. And that's what we've been talking about this whole time, haven't we? Whether it's the meticulous preparation of the comrades, the adaptability of the Ducey Rat, or the reflective wisdom of the Midmar Mile, it's about finding that inner strength that helps us navigate the challenges.
It really is. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Trevor Nell's world, I'm curious, what resonated most with you?
Yeah. What lesson are you going to take away from these incredible stories? Is it the importance of preparation, the power of teamwork, or maybe just that simple reminder to keep swimming?
Whatever it is, I hope it inspires you to embrace your own challenges, to find those metaphorical marathons and river rapids in your own life.
And to navigate them with that same spirit of determination, adaptability, and maybe even a little bit of Ducey Rat humor.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's all the time we have for today, but the conversation doesn't have to end here. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and as always, keep swimming.